Thank you, Chairman Comer, for your leadership on this. We appreciate it. The Biden administration prioritized sweetheart deals to the American Federation of Government Employees, and the American taxpayer suffered. There are more than 2 million civilians, non-postal employees. These employees were compensated just under $360 billion in 2023, up 31% from 2019. During this time, the federal workforce grew by more than 140,000 employees, an increase of over 7%. Spending on federal employees increased by billions of dollars, while there was little evidence of increases in services provided. The Biden administration saddled future generations with debt to award union allies. The American people suffered through an inflation crisis, while federal bureaucrats were insulated from its effects and continued receiving pay increases. This was wrong and contributed to the American people overwhelmingly electing Republicans in 2024. Since taking office, President Trump has prioritized reining in the federal bureaucracy to save American taxpayers money and ensure the federal government is effectively working for the American people. On April 24, 2025, President Trump issued Executive Order 14284, strengthening probationary periods in the federal service. The executive order states that the American people deserve a federal workforce that is high quality, efficient, dedicated to the public interest, and no larger than necessary. President Trump could not be more right. Probationary periods and trial periods are long-standing essential tools to ensure newly hired federal employees are sufficiently performing before their appointments are finalized permanently. I introduced the Equals Act of 2025 to build upon President Trump's executive order. The legislation provides 2-year probationary periods for competitive and accepted service employees instead of the current 1-year period for most employees after their initial appointment. This would allow for better tracking and monitoring of an employee's progress to ensure that they are the right fit for the federal government. This provision came directly from a 2015 GAO report entitled "Improved Supervision and Better Use of Probationary Periods Are Needed to Address Substandard Employee Performance." The report from the GAO stated, "Chief Human Capital Officers also told us supervisors often do not have enough time to adequately address an individual's performance before the probationary period ends." The report also found that individuals on a probationary period often rotate through various offices in the agency, and supervisors have only a limited opportunity to assess their performance. An employee can often work for the federal government for over 25 years, and having an extra year probationary status to ensure the right employee becomes career tenured is a common sense good government measure. Under current law, if the agency takes no action, the employee automatically transitions from probationary to full competitive service status. My legislation would terminate employment except for those who are certified by the agency head to be retained. I want to be clear that this will not lead to mass termination, but instead a careful performance review to ensure that each employee is the best use of taxpayer dollars. This reform came from the Merit Systems Protection Board, who recommended in a 2005 report titled "The Probationary Period, a Critical Assessment Opportunity," quote, "OPM should establish procedures so that a probationer does not automatically become an employee in the absence of agency action. An agency should be required to certify that a probationer's conduct and performance have established that individual will be an asset to the government. In the absence of this certification, the probationer's employment should automatically terminate upon the expiration of the probationary period. Before the employee benefits from being made permanent and becomes much more difficult to remove, they must show the taxpayer why doing so is in the public interest. Full-time status is a major commitment and should require clear excellence in performance. My legislation will go a long way to ensure that only the best and brightest work for the American taxpayer and ensure that the American people have a federal government that works for them. I urge support and yield back the balance of my time.